of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, Laws of the State of New Jersey. Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2021. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall, and has mailed true copies of the schedule to the local stores, the Star Ledger, and the Home News Tribune, and is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2021. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Cesari? Here. Councilman David?
Here.
Councilman Finestrella is absent. Councilman Ladowdy?
Here.
Councilman Pence?
Here.
And Councilman Puglisi is absent.
Okay, I'll jump right to report committees, finance report.
Okay, Mayor. I'd like to start off just with the meeting we had. Finance Committee met on Monday. Successful meeting. We had more, usually every year we get a wish list of what the departments want. This year it was more of prioritized and necessity. You know, infrastructure, phone systems that are old and not working properly. Or maybe not old, just not working properly. Make sure we take care of our sanitation department. We talked about sewer problems. So it was a very great meeting for necessity. And I'm having Lisa's making copies for all the board members that don't have the capital project list. And we can move forward on that one. Just let me get my report out here. Okay. The notices went out for late taxes. It went out this week, so that'd be good. We get them out, people know what's on. The Finance Committee met, as I just said. The senior tax program, it's a booklet that comes out. It should have been mailed to all our seniors already. I got mine today, so I'm believing that it all come down to when you get your mail delivered in this snow and a little bit of delay. Other than that, that's basically what we have for finance. I said, we had the meeting, we had the budget meetings. We're delayed 2 weeks because of Laura.
Right.
We want to do the operating budget. And we just can't do the operating budget right now.
Right.
But if you have any questions about operating budgets or the capital budget, you can give me a call or email me, and I'll get together with Ken and we'll work on. So I think every department, every person here that's on the committee, it reflects in the capital projects. And I think it's just not, your separate committee, your separate committee. All of us as one as a committee, and on this capital project, it shows up more there. So when you get the paperwork, please just review it. And of course, it doesn't affect your committee, and you can either be opposed or pro for what they're asking for. And I appreciate that. So I'd like to get this done.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Ladowdy. Department of Public Works, Councilman David.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, as of February 18th, we had another snowstorm, probably about another 6 inches of snow to the borough. DPW used 25 tons of rock salt to combat the ice and slippery roads, approximately 200 pounds of calcium chloride for the borough sidewalks and the crosswalks. Since then, they've closed off certain streets to use the front end loader to clear curb to curb. Also, last month, recycling, the cost was $7,450.44. And the last 3 weeks of February, they collected 40.44 tons. But based on this January figures, overall, we're probably saving about $10,000 a month since we've gone to our own recycling program. compared to if you had to do a private company. So we're definitely saving money by doing it on our own. So with that in mind, we got to make sure that we keep our equipment up to date because, as everyone kind of knows, and maybe don't know, DPW is always the last to get equipment, and their equipment's usually 20, 30 years old, and then it all breaks at the same time, and then it costs more to repair. So we got to constantly, from now on, keep up with replenishing equipment as needed.
Or that's why I'm hoping to have up the plan for, before the DPW works out a lot of things we discussed.
Okay?
You know, especially the infrastructure with our sewer system. Probably by next month, we'll all get together and take care of this infrastructure problem.
Down at the building, they did have one of the bay doors didn't work. They had an emergency call on marked door. The door was damaged beyond repair, so they had to get a new quote for a new door. And, you know, the operator for the door was 30 years old, and since there was never any service or maintenance, of course, that's what caused the damage, so the door don't work anymore. Next week, it looks like we're going to probably do some interviews for the 3 spots that we have, 2 laborers and a CDL driver. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Councilman David. Department of Public Safety, Councilwoman Cecilia.
Thank you, Mayor. We received, Chief Zimmerman received a letter from Captain Scott Breslow of the Union Police Department appraising one of our officers, Captain Seuss. He helped a 91-year-old man who was shopping at Acme who fell in the parking lot and refused medical attention, but Captain Seuss, being off duty, stopped to help and eventually gave a phone call to the detective, Captain Scott Breslow, letting him know what happened. He just wanted us to know that usually the good things aren't said about our officers, and he wanted us to know that, letting us know that something great was done. And with that, Chief Zimmerman posted a memorandum for vacancies on February 11th regarding the promotional interviews to be conducted by the police committee and police chief in March. I will just give you the eligibility and requirements for promotion, or I could leave it for council if you want to hear it. Okay, I'll read them real quick. To be eligible for consideration for promotion for the rank of sergeant, the officer must have 5 or more years of service as a Commonwealth police officer. To be eligible for consideration for promotion for the rank of lieutenant, the sergeant shall be in their current rank for no less than 1 year. To be eligible for consideration for promotion to the rank of captain, the lieutenant shall be in their current rank for no less than 1 year. Any officer meeting the requirements for the promotion interview for the rank of sergeant, lieutenant, and captain must submit a letter and their resume to the chief of police no later than March 3rd, 2021 at 4 p.m. regarding their intent to be considered for the upcoming promotion interviews. So whoever's applying for that, that is the deadline date. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Planning and zoning, Councilman Fenestrella, no one has a report for that. Move on, recreation and fire, Councilman Pettis.
Recreation, so registrations open up this week, but there is a problem with the payment module. I don't know if it's with the town or, I think they have to do an online payment.
Right.
There's a problem with the payment module for some reason, but they're working on it.
Is that on our end?
And I'll find out.
Oh, okay.
And baseball tryouts for the middle school level will be held March 9th and 12th. Required with full details are being sent to the school, which will go out next week. And the Valentine's Day hunt went pretty well. She doesn't have any numbers, but it went okay.
Yeah. That's nice.
As far as the fire department report, I had one for last meeting. I submitted it to Kathy to put it on minutes.
Okay. That's all?
That's it.
Excellent, thank you, Councilman Pettis. Okay, health, education, and welfare, Councilman Puglisi, anyone have a report?
I don't have a report, but know some of the things that went on with the library committee. First of all, they refused to do a temperature check for the clients coming into the building. Every board member rejected that idea. Except, they actually, they said it was a public building, they didn't have to do it. So we got in touch with the health department, with Michael, and made sure that, we were doing the right thing. And Michael highly recommended that we do the testing. In fact, I went to Perkins yesterday, and they had more testing going into that little restaurant than we're doing at our own library. But there's tools out there now where you just walk by, and they can test your temperature. And, they did that with my COVID. You just walk by and that's it.
I do it at my place of business.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we do it at our library.
Do it here.
Yes, we're doing it right there, right now.
Yes.
What else with the library is the boat drop-off point outside the library. They built a little, I called it a shanty when I looked at it, I think that needs to be repaired and fixed up. And, we're a better town than that.
I just have a question. Joe, do they take donated books?
No.
No, okay.
The most difficult thing to find.
Because I have like the classics.
I can help you out.
But
I just found a few.
I do have the classics, but,
Oh, we found something that's great.
yeah, from the college studies, but, okay.
Yeah, the health department.
I understand.
I guess we know that they're going to do a blood drive.
Yeah, I have that.
Right, and I wanted to hook that up with education, because I know David Brearley High School does blood drives also. David Brearley, the Red Cross, and now Unico,
Right.
Which is part of me. They do that drive. I'd like to see if we could coordinate even that area into it. But the blood drive, I think, is really important right now, and I think that works. Education, Harding's been closed. I don't know when they're coming back. Scott, maybe you know?
No, I've never heard anything.
I'm not sure. I know that I believe we have 37, I have this in my report, but 37 school-aged children with COVID right now, so.
Yeah, and I heard St. Teresa's like, no.
Well, good.
Which is good, but,
Yeah, it's good.
and I'm just,
Okay.
from what
I appreciate it.
I've been following them, so.
Okay. That all?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Lavati. Borough Engineer, Tony Gallarano.
Thank you, Mayor. Just have a couple items. Unfortunately, yesterday, a sinkhole opened up in Market Street, just south of the Parkway overpass. It was actually right in front of number 132. That was repaired today. Found it to be a result of the storm sewer. Actually, it wasn't the sanitary sewer this time. So it was a fairly easy fix. Everything's been restored. The line's been flushed and cleaned out. And the only thing they have to do is come back tomorrow and just do the paving, patch the road. So it could always be worse. I mean, we never want to see these things, but fortunately it wasn't a complicated fix like we had on the boulevard. So with that, I'm going to segue right into the next thing, which is Councilman Ladowdy pointed out at we met with the Finance Committee. We did have a big emphasis on infrastructure. We know that infrastructure is not getting any younger. It's going to keep deteriorating. And we really strongly recommended that we get into more of a routine preventive maintenance program, inspection program, just so we can identify these problems before they happen. Especially with the sanitary sewers. We have some sewers, especially in the boulevard, that are very large and very deep. Some of them are 18, 20 feet deep. They're in the groundwater, and when they break, it's a major, major problem. It's a lot more cost effective to repair those by lining them before they actually break. So, we had an inspection program where we were, routinely video inspecting the lines. If we see a line's compromised, it's going to be a lot easier, a lot more cost effective to reline it before it collapses. So we are recommending that the borough do purchase the video equipment and be able to do these inspections and get on a routine system. I know Michael also did DPW, budget, also looking to upgrade equipment, with a vac truck, with a jet truck, which I think is a good idea. I think you'll definitely get the money worth out of it. Just for example, today, the vac truck, the borough's vac truck was out for repair because it broke down. And we needed it for the jet the line, and fortunately, Cranford was able to come out and help us out. But you can't always depend on, another town to come out and need them, so. Anyway, just wanted to, I think, it's, those are the recommendations. I think they'll definitely get the money's worth out of that equipment, so. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Borough CFO, Ken Blunt.
Thank you, Mayor. As Councilman O'Donnell said, we met with the Finance Committee to discuss capital projects. There are a lot of large ticket items. We are going to have to take a look at them all overall. Everything is needed, but we're going to have to see how much we can afford. And as far as 2020 goes, we should be done with reconciling that by early next week. The auditors are here working on some of the smaller departments and things, and everything's moving forward. That's all I have.
Excellent, thank you. Borough Attorney, Mr. Vicky.
Mayor, just a couple of brief points. I have been sending it to the clerk, and I guess they're the governing body. Please read them, the ongoing, what you call peccadillos or battles in other towns regarding affordable housing. I think it's important that you read it to get an up-to-date as to what's going on in the other towns. For example, today, I provided, I don't know if the court, if the acting court got it out, the redevelopment plan going on in Springfield, which is a significant plan, and every plan includes a affordable housing element. But I urge you just to read the article. It's better than being spoon-fed. It's the best way to get it. And number two, Mayor, you and I have spoken about this. I'm waiting for a response from the DEP. There is something called EF Kenilworth LLC, which is part of the operation of Merck. They've applied for a facility processing and air admissions permit. This is the stuff when I didn't pay attention in geology that I'm learning about. But I'm just telling you, we're watching this. We'll probably, and I know Mayor, you are up to date on this, credit. We're probably going to have a public hearing on the permitting and what they're doing. I mean, the perplexing question is, if in fact they're legitimately leaving, why do they need new air permits? It may be, and I'll let you look for the positive, it may be just because it enhances the value of the property if the permit is transferable. But in any case, we're looking at it, we're going to get the public hearing, and DEP reps have been really helpful. I have no gripes at all with them in spoon-feeding me through the process. So I will keep you addressed on both. But again, please read those materials that are going to you from the clerk. They're that important. I don't send you clips just because I enjoy them cut out articles, but I do think they're important for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vicky.
Frank, with the Merck project, we know they're getting a new CFO in the spring. It's coming in.
I would say Linda's pretty up to date.
But not only that, so what I realized is Merck is going into the production of COVID vaccines from every other company, from Pfizer to Moderna.
They dropped it.
I believe they are.
They dropped theirs.
No, they dropped the vaccine, but they didn't drop the production. And we have a production facility here at Merck in Kenilworth. And I had asked Frank the question, could that be one of the reasons why Merck is, just hanging around right now, using that production facility?
You remember Mayor and Councilor about 5 or 6 years ago, Jim Burke, who played for the Giants, they did a commercial of him trying to do a ballerina dance. And the commercial was never try to understand another man's feel. We do know that here are the facts. The president of Merck is no longer the president of Merck. The stock took a tremendous hit on this issue. What it all means, I don't know. But you're right on target with that callback thing. One would think that maybe they're having second thoughts. One would think. I know the mayor's been getting ready. We're going to have another session with them, but I don't know. But in the interim, I'm hoping, and I may be grasping for straws, but I do think these public hearings on the air pollution permit are important. because you can ask any damn question you want at the hearing. I'm not sure, but you're right, I'm talking about the COLA. When you said that, first, I said, son of a gun, he's right, that may be, and I don't think they can move that. That's not like picking up your, picking up a machine and moving it to rolling. I don't think they can do that, but
Right.
I don't know. I hope you're right.
They don't do no production down there. They moved everything out down in Kenilworth. They moved it out. They do it out in the country.
Right, well, but this COLA thing, I think they do there.
Yeah, the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, the COLA thing.
Big vaccine.
And I don't know if they, maybe they can. I confess,
I don't know they were making.
my dad used to say, you know nothing and I know less.
Not COVID,
Nobody believes.
not COVID.
I think that's, I would say, Jared credit the mayor. I think the mayor knows
No,
everything.
I just wanted to bring that up, that's all.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
last,
thank you.
they failed last month. I thought they just dropped it, the vaccine.
They dropped their vaccine.
Not what he's talking about.
I understand.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I don't mean to back.
Yeah, me too.
The mayor knows his facility better than anyone.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Lavalley. At this time, I'd like to, a motion to open the floor to the public.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Lavalley, seconded by Councilman David. Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward, state your name and address. Hi, Bob.
I'll be quick, only because I heard what the engineer said. Bob Herbert, 14 North 12th Street. Regarding some video equipment, I'd like to suggest to you guys, maybe somebody reach out to Springfield. They have a state-of-the-art truck. I think they paid like $250,000 for it. When they first got it, Milburn approached them. They were sharing it with Milburn, with their licensed operator, and Milburn found that that piece of equipment was so efficient and effective, they bought their own. I mean, we're a small town, we're looking to save money. I think it's worthwhile to reach out to them because, like I said, it's a truck with a whole computer system inside. There's a man that sits inside. If you see it, it's just amazing what this equipment can do. I'm sure, Tony, you're familiar with it, with some dealings out of Springfield. So you may want to reach out to DPW and see what kind of agreement you guys can come up with that's cost efficient.
No, that's great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that, thank you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else, I'd like to move into close the floor for public discussion.
Motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman Cesari, seconded by Councilman David. Okay, does anyone have anything else to add?
This will bring up.
We are going to take a 5-minute recess and then we'll start our council meeting. If there's nothing else to be brought before the borough, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman David, seconded by Councilman Lavalley. See you in 5 minutes.
Marco has COVID, but he was sending his co-worker tonight. Hope he shows up, but he was just diagnosed today. Yeah, I know.
Now, when I don't, I say that. Our DPW also says, everybody is chopped. That's what they do. I don't get upset with that. That's what the mayor was doing. Yeah, I did. Yeah, sure, whatever you want. That's what the I like doing it.
But I was putting in tomorrow, it's got to be 48 hours.
I think you can't do anything.
Right, no, I'm good, I read your emails. I read everything that I can. Sometimes they get divvied into different ways. I have a what? A living? I'm telling you, last night I was up all night with it. It was so bad. I think I pinched a nerve right here because it's sticking out. I was working yesterday, it was hurting. I went to pick up the bag with all my equipment and I twisted and I heard it go. No, I got in touch with my orthopedic, he did my shoulder, and all this other insurance. And he did my shoulder, he did my wrist, and I wanted to go back to him because I trust him, he's good. But I'll tell you what, Frank, I gotta see, these are my hands. I gotta make sure, I see the right person. I knew, I knew someday something was gonna happen. No, but because I hurt every once in a while, but when I go to bed, I go to sleep, I rest them, I'm good the next day. Oh, yes, signatures. No, I had that already. I was working yesterday and it started hurting, which it does every once in a while, but then when I went to pick up my equipment, it twisted and I heard something go pop. And now the bone of my wrist is sticking out and so it's double wrapped because I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible until I see the orthopedic, which I haven't even gotten an appointment with because I'm waiting for my primary to call me back from that referral. It's bullshit now with health insurance. It's ridiculous. I know. No, there's no way. Because, I took a picture last night because I had to call out of work. I called out of work last night because the way it was hurting last night, I said, sure enough, I was up all night. And I'm going to try to work on the computer today. I just couldn't do it. So I'm going to back up that way too. Thank you, Kathy.
We'll get home from the north, so we just put stuff in whatever they keep in order.
The glasses keep popping.
It took me a couple of days.
Anti-fog. Good, how are you?
I am making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2021. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall and has mailed true copies of this schedule to the local source, the Star Ledger, and the Home News Tribune, and is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2021. During the public health emergency caused by coronavirus, the Borough Council will continue to meet on the regularly scheduled meeting dates at 6 p.m. The council meeting will continue to commence as soon as possible after the work session. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Cesari?
Here.
Councilman David?
Here.
Councilman Finestrella?
Here.
Councilman Ladowdy?
Here.
And Councilman Pence?
Here.
And Councilman Puglisi is absent.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the council meeting of February 10, 2021?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladowdy, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari. All in favor?
Aye.
Various advisories were received from the New Jersey State League of Municipalities and were emailed to everyone.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept communications and reports?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilman Pence. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Kenilworth currently has a total of 843 COVID-19 cases that have been reported to the health department. 127 of these cases have fallen in the past 30 days, with 29 new infections in this past 7 days. In the past month, Kenilworth has been ranging between 20 and 30 new cases per week. Similarly, we are seeing increases of cases coming from school-age children. Currently, 37 have tested positive in the past 14 days. I urge all residents to please follow all protocols to keep yourself and your family safe. The Board of Health, the VFW, and the American Red Cross will be hosting a blood drive on April 12th from 1 to 6 p.m. Blood is the most precious gift that anyone can give to another person, the gift of life. A decision to donate your blood can save a life. Please consider coming out and donating. I'd also like to send a shout out and gratitude to our DPW superintendent and staff who have been working tirelessly during these winter months, keeping our roads safe and our town clean. Thank you for all your hard work for our borough. We appreciate it. And also, I would like to extend my appreciation and utmost gratitude to our retiring Chief of Police, John Zimmerman. I wish you a long and happy retirement. Thank you for serving our borough for over 30 years. I wish you the absolute best.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Finance report, Councilman Ladati.
Yes, Mayor. I'm almost there, Mayor. Sorry. I can go over it. First quarter tax reminders went out Friday. Reminder of your tax bill and what you have to pay. The senior citizen freeze packet went out in the mail. I received mine today, so for all our seniors that should be either in their possession right now or on their way. And also, you do is fill it out. I know you have till November, but November comes real quick, especially in these times. So get it done as quick as possible. Get your tax information in. You drop it off here, have it done here, and mail it back in. Another thing that I posted on social media was that the 2020 audit is being done. And what happens is our auditors send out a small sampling of individuals and the taxes they paid or the taxes they owe. It gets mailed back to the auditors, and the auditors check it against our records in town. It's a good way of balancing of what's going on. Also, Mr. Blum, I don't want to steal your thunder right now, but 2020 fiscal year, calendar year is almost over. They almost have it completed, and I think that's a big plus for us and for that department. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Ladati. Department of Public Works, Councilman David.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to go on the record and thank DPW for all our hard work, for all the snowstorms that we had this past month, or during this month. What I would like to say is last month's bill for recycling in January was $7,450.44. Based on that figure, I'm pretty sure it's a standard amount for every month that we've been collecting recycling since we went to DPW taking over that. And we're saving probably about $10,000 a month by not going to a private disposal company. The last company we had wanted to jack up the price to $20,000 a month. DPW's been out in the center of town and on some South Michigan, Washington, Epping Drive, and they've been going, using the front end loader, going curb to curb, removing snow. I will say that there is still an issue with parking in this borough when we have a snowstorm. Still cars that never move. I think there's a few cars that are still snowed in from the blizzard, which is amazing in itself, but we definitely have to look into that. We keep saying it, but we have to do it. Based on past snow, there's a few items, equipment that is broken down at the DPW. So once again, as I stated earlier, we need to keep up with equipment for the DPW since it's always the last department to get anything new. They've been working with the same equipment for the last 20, 25 years, and it's time they start getting upgraded. And starting pretty soon, tree work will begin. They received proposals to address 12 trees so far, and the work will start, weather permitting. And there's a great backlog as far as tree work goes. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Councilman David. Department of Public Safety, Councilwoman Cecilia.
Thank you, Mayor. Police Chief Zimmerman received a letter from a detective, Captain Scott Breslow from the Union Police Department. And he states, my 91-year-old father was shopping at Acme on Friday, the 12th of February, and fell in the parking lot, hit his head. He is stubborn and refused to recommend trips to the hospital. Captain Seuss is off duty and stopped by to help and eventually gave me a phone call letting me know what happened. He even took the time to follow my dad home to make sure he got home safely. I wanted to let you know I appreciate the time Captain Seuss took to help my father. Quite often we get complaints and criticisms about our officers, so I thought you should hear the good as well. Complicating matters on my end is that we were moving our son into the University of Delaware and getting ready to leave when I got the call. My dad is okay, and I guess everything worked out. He just wanted to let everybody know that, no, they don't get commended when good is done, and he wanted to let everybody know that there was good done. And now there's eligibility requirements for the promotions. Chief Zimmerman posted a memorandum on a vacancy on February 11th regarding the promotional interviews to be conducted by the police committee and police chief in March. I'll read the eligibility. To be eligible for consideration for promotion for the rank of sergeant, the officers must have 5 or more years of service as a Kenilworth police officer. To be eligible for consideration for promotion for the rank of lieutenant, the sergeant shall be in their current rank for no less than 1 year. To be eligible for consideration for promotion to the rank of captain, the lieutenant shall be in their current rank for no less than 1 year. Any officer meeting the requirements for promotion interview for the rank of sergeant, lieutenant, and captain must submit a letter and their resume to the chief of police no later than March 3rd, 2020 at 4 p.m. regarding their intent to be considered for the upcoming promotion interviews. And we will follow as need be. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman Cecilia. Planning and zoning, Councilman Finestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. Hopefully there is nothing to report. Our last meeting was canceled. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, recreation and fire, Councilman Pence.
Recreation. The cell registrations open up this week, and trying to get an answer from them about the payment module. We've gone over there somewhere else. There's now an issue with it. Baseball tryouts for the middle school level will be held at game on March 9th and 12th. The flyers are being sent to the school and should go out next week, Friday, 12th. They had their Valentine's Day hunt, which went over pretty well due to the weather. And the fire report I gave to Kathy the last meeting.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you, Councilman Pence. Health, Education, and Human Services, Councilman Puglisi is not here. Okay. Next for council consideration is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman David, seconded by Councilwoman Cecilia. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that resolution number 3 was pulled from the consent agenda. Resolutions 1 and 2 are listed on the consent agenda and will be enacted by one motion. All items will be recorded individually and full in the minutes. Councilwoman Cecilia?
Yes.
Councilman David?
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella?
Yes.
Councilman Ladowdy?
Yes.
Councilman Pence?
Yes.
And Councilman Puglisi is absent. I have an ordinance for introduction, 2021-01, an ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending Chapter 120 Land Use, Part 4 Stormwater Control, Article 34 Stormwater Control Standards of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth.
The purpose of this ordinance is to update the borough's stormwater ordinance to align with the new DEP regulations. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance 2021-01 on introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Wadati, seconded by Councilwoman Cestari. All in favor?
Aye.
Be it hereby resolved that the ordinance 2021-01 entitled An Ordinance of the Borough of Kenilworth amending Chapter 120 Land Use, Part 4 Stormwater Control, Article 34 Stormwater Control Standards of the Code of the Borough of Kenilworth, heretofore introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance will further be considered for final passage at the meeting to be held on March 24, 2021, 7 p.m., or as soon as thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the Borough Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, having more female leaders is important because female leaders change the perceived conception about who can lead and what qualities are necessary to have a leadership position. Women in these types of roles break down barriers and show everyone that what women can achieve. When empowered young women rise up together, they break isolation, build solidarity, and strengthen movements that challenge the prevalent social, economic, and political barriers to their vision and their voice. I believe we must empower our girls. It is with great pride and admiration that I congratulate Sarah Koser for her recent Girl Scout Gold Award. Sarah's leadership and initiatives to help support young women in our community by creating a Women in Leadership and Service Club. I believe we must inspire and empower our girls. It is said that girls with dreams become women with vision. It is my honor to present this Certificate of Excellence to Sarah Koser in grateful recognition of your tireless work creating an environment where young women can gain confidence, knowledge, and cultivate supportive relationships. The Women in Leadership and Service Club, thank you for making a difference through example and mentorship. Your vision, courage, compassion, and success will carry you over obstacles that may once have seemed insurmountable. Congratulations, Sarah. Next, I have a proclamation for Chief Zimmerman. Whereas Chief Zimmerman has served the borough with kindness, humor, and an ever-present smile for providing community policing of the highest quality. And John Zimmerman's career with the Kenilworth Police Department began on February 1st, 1990, where he took the oath as patrol officer until his promotion to detective in 1994. Serving in various positions including sergeant in 2006 and lieutenant in 2010 and ultimately chief in July of 2013. And during John's tenure as chief, the department continued to pursue the most rigorous operational standards, resulting in the agency's continued accreditation by the New Jersey State Department of Criminal Justice and a three-decade career with the Kenilworth Police Department. Earned Chief Zimmerman numerous awards and recognition from his peers in law enforcement and the Kenilworth community, including the Kenilworth Board of Education, the Local Assistance Board, the Union County Municipal Alliance, and countless other professional and civic organizations. And Chief Zimmerman's dedication to the community and law enforcement extends beyond the Kenilworth Police Department, and because of the many important professional and civic contributions that John Zimmerman has made to the great borough of Kenilworth, he is deserving of special recognition. And whereas on February 26, 2021, members of the Kenilworth community will join with the Kenilworth Police Department to celebrate the distinguished career of Police Chief John Zimmerman during his farewell walkout ceremony from department headquarters in recognition of his over 33 years of honorable service in law enforcement, 31 of which was with the Borough of Kenilworth. Now therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, Mayor of the Borough of Kenilworth, on behalf of the entire Borough Council and the citizens we serve, take great pride and pleasure in drawing special public attention to Chief John Zimmerman for his record of service to and concern for the protection of life and property, and extend to him sincere best wishes for continued success in all his life's pursuits. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand on this 24th day of February 2021. I would like to present the Chief with this award, presented to Chief John Zimmerman in recognition for over 31 years of loyal and dedicated service to the Kenilworth Police Department from a grateful community, 1990 to 2021.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations, Chief Zimmerman.
Thank you, John.
Wish you the best on your retirement.
Thank you.
Shows your compassion to family members.
Thank you, Councilman.
Okay. Is there a motion to open the floor to the public?
So moved.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilwoman Cesari. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, does anyone have anything for the good and well-being of Borough of Kenilworth? Please come forward, state your name and address.
Diane O'Neill, and I work at the police department. I just want to take this time to wish and congratulate Chief Zimmerman on his retirement. He has set an excellent example for all of us to follow. And many of you will never know the tireless hours and commitment he has poured his heart into for the Kenilworth Police Department and his community. His passion for his profession and the town of Kenilworth is second to none. I wish the Chief and his lovely family all the best, and he will be greatly missed by all. It has been both an honor, pleasure, and privilege working with such a man of high caliber. Congratulations, Speaker.
John Zimmerman, Kenilworth resident and police chief. Two things, just to start off on business. I know Councilman David had mentioned about cars that are snowbound. I know up until recently we used the abandoned vehicle statute, but it really doesn't apply to cars that are snowbound. I know we've had a hard time in court with that statute. I wanted to ask the mayor and council and even police committee to look into a borough ordinance that deals with specifically cars that are snowbound over 24 or 48 hours instead of relying on a abandoned vehicle statute or Title 39. I think that would be more appropriate and easier for officers to issue a summons in that arena for vehicles that are snowbound with a borough ordinance. And last but not least, I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure and honor serving the borough of Kenilworth. When I retire next month, the 1st of March, I will have served for over 33 years in law enforcement, with over 7.5 of those years as the chief of police for the borough of Kenilworth. I want to thank the men and women, both civilian and sworn, of the Kenilworth Police Department for their support over the years. Without them and all their hard work, Kenilworth Police Department would not be what it is today. A very fine professional department that is customer service driven to keep our borough and citizens safe. Just want to end on a quote from Albert Einstein, who said, "Only a life lived in the service to others is worth living." And so far for me, after more than 33 years of service, I agree with Albert Einstein. I hope to find ways to serve other than law enforcement in my retirement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else to be brought for the public portion of the meeting, can I have a motion to close the floor to the public?
I'd like to just state that I wish you the best, the very best. When I first got onto council, I was in charge of the police department, didn't know what I was doing. Sat down, listened, learned, was on another committee, and then I wound back up on the police department again. And I've had the pleasure of serving with you, and I appreciate everything that has been done by you, and you've served this town well. I just want to wish you the best, and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay. I'd like to close the meeting to the public portion. I know. No, I know. I actually was closing the meeting, and then I was okay, can I close the meeting to the public discussion?
Yes.
Okay, motion made by Councilman Siri, seconded?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Ladati. Sarah was...
I'm with the vote. All in
Favor, aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, all in favor, aye. Sorry,
Let's hear from Sarah.
Okay. I hope no one minds that Sarah's here now, and unfortunately with COVID, we're running from the work session right into the council meeting, and she wasn't here, so I would like to present her award again now at this time, since she's here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Having more female leaders is important because female leaders change the perceived conception about who can lead and what qualities are necessary to have in a leadership position. Women in these types of roles break down barriers and show everyone what women can achieve. When empowered young women rise up together, they break isolation, build solidarity, and strengthen movements and challenges challenge the prevalent social, economic, and political barriers in their vision and their voice. It is with great pride and admiration that I congratulate Sarah Koser for her recent Girl Scout Gold Award. Sarah's leadership and initiatives to help support young women in our community by creating a Women in Leadership and Service Club. I believe we must inspire and empower our girls. It is said that girls with dreams become women with vision. I'd like to present this Certificate of Excellence, presented to Sarah Koser, in grateful recognition of your tireless work, creating an environment where young women can gain confidence, knowledge, and cultivate supportive relationships. The Women in Leadership and Service Club, thank you for making a difference through example and mentorship. Your vision, courage, compassion, and success will carry you over obstacles that may have once seemed unsurmountable. I'd like to present this to Sarah. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Okay, does anyone else have anything to say for the good and welfare of the borough?
Just want to congratulate John. Always a pleasure and honor working with you. I remember when you came out of county police many moons ago.
Thank you.
And there's a rocking chair waiting for you on the front porch.
I always tell you every time I walk past,
That sounds nice.
Waiting to warm out.
Thank you.
John, there's a position with cast.
Hopefully we can get back to that.
I hope so. Just one more thing, Mayor. We should all be sending our prayers out for Scott Pence's brother,
Yes.
right, who is in the hospital right now suffering from COVID. And to remember him in your prayers tonight. Okay, Scott, and I wish you the best with that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll keep them in our prayers for sure. Okay, if there's nothing else to be brought before the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ladati, seconded by Councilman Pence. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, have a good night.